Present.
Here. Present.
Present.
Here.
Here, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved. I'll second.
We have a motion by David, a second by Matt to approve the agenda as presented. Any further discussion on this item?
So just on the agenda itself, a couple of things that are in the consent agenda, I would like to pull out if we could, and just discuss in regular agenda.
Which items?
Let me get to it. So we have the MEC electric issue, the McKinley micropile.
Which one is McKinley?
I've got it, just the printout copy. I don't have it.
E3.
There you go. Thank you. So those two, if we could, and they're just more a question, but I've talked with Matt and Dave, and they can cover it if it's okay with the rest of the board. Put it on the regular agenda, and we talk about the boiler issue. If that's fine with everybody, just some flow and process.
Okay. Mrs. Sherrick, are you willing to amend your motion on that?
I made the motion. Yes, I made the motion.
David?
I'll second.
We have a motion to approve the agenda as presented with the exception of moving item E1 and E3 from the consent agenda to the regular agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. The certification of the April 2nd, 2024 Board of Education election results. Dr. Saketa.
Yes, we had an election on April 2nd, and we received the information from the county clerks of both Newton and Jasper counties. In the election, John Hurd, 1,410 votes. Victor Sly, 1,373 votes. Derek Gander, 1,128 votes. Riley Hartwell, 2,249 votes. Write-in, 37, and the second write-in was 7. That being said, I suggest and recommend that the Joplin School Board accept the results of the vote on April 2nd in both Jasper and Newton counties.
Move we accept the results of the election.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Sherrick, a second by Ms. Schroeder, to accept the election results as certified by the county clerks of Jasper and Newton counties. Any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. Very good. Adjourn sine die.
Okay.
Well, please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. We haven't voted on that.
That's right. Okay. Now we're going to swear in the board members, Riley Hartwell and John Hurd.
I'll say so. Let me just kind of after I'm done with this. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Missouri, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of a school director in and for Joplin schools, County of Jasper, State of Missouri, to the best of my ability according to the law.
Congratulations.
Okay, we will now call the board organizational meeting to order. We have approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda.
We have a second.
Second.
First by Robertson, second by Weaver. All in favor?
Aye. Yeah, do we go on yes?
Yep.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Okay. So first, we will have the election of the board president. So Cheryl will pass out the ballots. And while that's occurring, I will take nominations for the office of board president.
I'd like to nominate Donnie Greenlee for the position.
Okay?
I nominate Riley Hartwell.
Okay? Any more nominations from the floor? Are there any more nominations from the floor? That being said, board members, please choose your selection for board president.
We put our name on this.
Please, put your name on it at the top.
This is how we vote as public record, right?
Yes, we will collect them. Okay. Greenlee and Hartwell. Greenlee by Robertson, Hartwell by Sure. Okay. John Hurd, Donnie Greenlee, Marta Schroeder, Riley Hartwell, Donnie Greenlee, Riley Hartwell, Matthew Robertson, Donnie Greenlee, Veronica Sherrick, Riley Hartwell, David Weaver, Riley Hartwell, and Riley Hartwell, Riley Hartwell. So Riley Hartwell is the new president of the board. Congratulations. Okay. Next, we will pass out ballots for vice president. I will take nominations from the floor.
I would nominate John Hurd for vice president.
Matthew Robertson nominates John Hurd.
I nominate Donnie Greenlee.
Veronica Sherrick nominates Donnie Greenlee. So we have Hurd and Greenlee. Do we have any more nominations from the floor? Any more nominations from the floor? Okay, on the yellow ballot, please write your name at the top and vote for either John Hurd or Donnie Greenlee. Please remember to put your name at the top. I think we got them all. Okay. John Hurd votes for John Hurd. Marta Schroeder votes for John Hurd. Donnie Greenlee, Donnie Greenlee. Riley Hartwell, Donnie Greenlee. Matthew Robertson, John Hurd. Veronica Sherrick, Donnie Greenlee. David Weaver, Donnie Greenlee. Donnie Greenlee is elected vice president. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay, that concludes our voting for board officers.
Thank you, Dr. Saketa. Board of Education Committee assignments, Finance Committee. Who would like to remain on the Finance Committee or be added?
I would like to.
I would participate in the finance.
You would prefer to stay?
I said I'd
Okay.
participate in it, sure.
Veronica, David, John.
Okay.
Data Committee.
I'd like to continue on data.
I would like to be on the data committee.
I would also like to be on the data committee.
Safety and Security.
I'll remain on that board, that commission.
I'd like to continue as well.
Policy.
I would like to join that committee.
I'll retain a spot on the Policy Committee.
I would also like to stay on the committee.
Very good. MSBA Delegate. Selection of the MSBA Delegate.
I'd like to continue.
We have an alternate too, right?
MSBA Alternate.
I'd do the alternate. I did that last year and sure.
Any objections? Very good. Review of policy BBFA. BBFA is board member conflict of interest and financial disclosure. It states all directors of the Joplin Schools Board of Education shall adhere to the laws regarding conflict of interest and avoid situations where their decisions or actions in their capacity as board members conflict with the mission of the district. Please take a moment to review this policy, please.
Oh, I see. That's not.
Okay. Reports, the board president's report, celebrations. Our first item, March Teacher Proud Tuesday winner, Rebecca Morin. Rebecca was nominated by a parent who has shared, Mrs. Morin is dedicated to not only her students' academic growth, but their growth as a member of the community and her classroom. She works with her students to ensure they feel safe and loved, creating an atmosphere where they are not afraid to take chances. She encourages students to push themselves, both in their academics, but in all areas of life. She encourages friendship and camaraderie amongst her students. Ms. Morin has helped my son and other students work on areas that are a struggle in a way that does not express weakness, but encourages growth. She has sparked a love of learning for my son. Congratulations to our March Teacher Proud Tuesday winner. April Teacher Proud Tuesday winner, Kathleen Schrader. Ms. Schrader works hard to differentiate for all of her students, but she has gone out of her way to offer modifications and accommodations for ELLs. Because she knows English isn't their native language, she has offered time to tutor, meet with EL developers to plan out upcoming lesson scaffolds, and utilizes cooperative learning strategies so students can learn from one another. Mrs. Schrader has made a positive impact on my ELL students who struggle with academic content language. Mrs. Schrader makes a full effort to use comprehensible input when teaching all her students and never hesitates to ask how to improve her strategies from her colleagues. Elijah Chauncey. Elijah Chauncey, a junior at Joplin High School, is pursuing his Child Development Associate CDA certification at Franklin Technology Center, aiming to kickstart his career in early childhood education. Upon graduating in 2025, Elijah plans to obtain his CDA, having been inspired by a tour of the early childhood classroom at FTC during his sophomore year. Elijah is building his portfolio for the certification while volunteering at South Joplin Early Head Start, where his passion for early childhood education was ignited by seeing a struggling student thrive under his guidance, motivating him to nurture for future generations. Middle schoolers compete in State Junior Academy of Science. James Bend and Indigo Dillahay earned a superior rating. Bella Munn earned a highly superior rating, won her category, and won the best bacteriological project. Senator Jill Carter speaks at the JROTC Military Ball. Jill Carter was the featured speaker at the 105th JROTC Anniversary Ball, held Friday, April 12th at Joplin High School. Her address centered on explaining the governing process in a democratic republic. She provided the students with many different real-life examples and the importance of our form of government. Joplin Schools winners of the 45th Annual Joplin Globe Spelling Bee. First place winner, Ariel Ulabari from Jefferson and Elijah Burkett from Cecil Floyd, won third place at the Joplin Globe Spelling Bee. Ariel and Elijah competed against 48 other students from area schools. Congrats, we are so proud of you. Liam Jones is accepted in the 2024 United States Naval Academy Summer STEM Program. North Middle School 8th grader Liam Jones has been selected for the 2024 United States Naval Academy Summer Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math STEM Program. More than 5,000 students from all over the United States applied to be a part of this week-long camp that includes the opportunity to be mentored and instructed by midshipmen while testing problem-solving, creativity, and collaboration skills. Liam is one of only 330 rising freshmen who were accepted. I'm excited to take part in this program because this is my dream school and the zenith of summer STEM programs, said Liam. He will travel to Annapolis, Maryland in June for the camp, and our well wishes will go with him. Good luck, Liam, and congratulations on this opportunity. Joplin High School Students of the Month. Congratulations to our Joplin High School Students of the Month for February. These students, who previously earned an Eagles Rising shout-out from their teachers, were chosen for this recognition by faculty and administrators based on their outstanding qualities of leadership, consideration, and focus. Help us congratulate our Eagles. Freshman, Painter Lamb. Sophomore, Jacob Tatum. Junior, William Hazelwood. Senior, Abigail Eckert. North Middle School 6th graders completed a unit about the Middle East and Africa and had real-world interactions thanks to some special guests. Using an intercontinental Google Meet, Joplin School's friend Ian Mwangi spoke to Mr. Midyat and Ms. Carey's class students about life in Kenya. North Middle School's building engineer chief, Atuno, right? Presented a slideshow about life in Nigeria. The students learned about different cultures and people. Thank you, Onyeka and Ian, for helping our students learn and grow. Next item, academic all-state student athletes. Please help us congratulate this year's volleyball academic all-state, softball academic all-state, and dance academic all-state students. Volleyball, Avery Bermudez, Thea Vogel, Adeline Norfelice, Lucy Arisman, Amy Kessler, and Abigail Eckert. Softball, Lily Glover, Carly Howard, Riley Kelly, Taylor Love, Abigail Lowry, Megan Meeker, Libby Munn, Ashley Phillips, Gracie Williamson, and Ava Wolf. Dance, Grace Howard, Lauren Sherrick, and Ella Schwab. Well done, Eagles. Way to represent your teams and your school. The first ever in-school baseball game. Students in business, marketing, and DECA programs worked with the athletic department to host this in-school incentive as a reward for students with strong attendance, behavior, and academics. During the Joplin baseball game versus McDonald County, students hosted games, offered snacks, honored baseball alumni, and the Joplin Schools Board of Education, and treated the student body to the joy of a Joplin Eagles win at the ballpark. Many thanks to the community sponsors who helped make this event possible. Very good. A lot of excellent things happening here in Joplin schools right now. Our next item,
Okay.
where we at? Dr. Saketa.
Yes, we have our student advisors report. Christian is here this evening.
Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. So we have a lot of celebrations for the month of April, and I'm just going to dive right in. So first of all, we're going to talk about the JHS speech and debate team. So there were a few Joplin High School students who were honored to attend the National Catholic Forensic League. They were Asa Bodenhorn, Alyssa Keene, Kate Tyson, and Jane Kammer. Asa Bodenhorn and Alyssa Keene are seniors. Kate Tyson is a junior, and Jane Kammer is a sophomore. And this program, this national final tournament, will take place during the summer in Chicago. The JHS Science Research Team took home the gold at the Missouri Southern Regional Science Fair. So on March 26th, the Science Research Team competed at the Missouri Southern Regional Science Fair, and this was the 35th annual one. And then we also competed at the Missouri Junior Academy of Science Regional Competition, and 8 students total competed, and we brought home over 24 awards. And the overall science fair winners who are moving on to the Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair in Los Angeles, California in May 2024 are Christian Kavanagh and Caroline Arisman. And many other students, and we all won medals, certificates, and even some cash prizes. And then some of the graduating seniors also won some scholarships for MSSU. And all students received either 1 or 2 ratings for the Missouri Junior Academy of Science Regional Science Fair that day. JHS students showcased some of their masterpieces at the COC Art Challenge. Genevieve heard one first in acrylic painting and second in oil painting. Kat Abilene took home 3rd in oil painting. Alistair Harris got an honorable mention in water media. Chayton Reiner got 1st in scratchboard art / pen and ink, and then 2nd in 2D mixed media. Cyrus Graves took 3rd in pastels and 4th in graphite. James Dudley got 1st in photography. Samara Miller got 1st in digital art. Hayden Hewitt got an honorable mention in graphite. Sana Thomason got an honorable mention in 2D mixed media. Francis Annis got 1st in sculpture and Judge's Choice in 3D art. And then Grace Fajardo got 2nd in ceramic sculpture. And we, of course, are proud of them for all of their hard work and artistic different things there. And then the JHS Constitution team competed with big success at the state competition. So last Monday, against a very tough competition, they placed 3rd after the Lincoln College Preparatory School and Springfield Central at the state show. And we were proud of their plays for their solid performance and the $500 cash prize they took home for educational purposes. The JHS Math League at the PSU Relays did quite well. Students placed 2nd in word problems and 5th in trigonometry, And there were also 7 individual medalists, and there were a total of around 800 students at this competition. The JHS Show Choir sung a symphony at Misha Large Group GOC, and Sound Dimension received an exemplary overall rating. And the Touch of Class, that show choir also competed, and both teams received that exemplary overall rating. And this is the highest rating given at the competition, proving that they can not only sing and dance, but they can also bring home trophies and sing beautiful choral music. The JHS student, Elena Wright, received Youth of the Year at the local Boys and Girls Club. And this was due to her hard work and dedication, and she models it there. She models these there, and the leaders of the club elected her Youth of the Year again. And this honor not only included an award, but also a trip to the Capitol where she made a speech among other Youth of the Year and was interviewed for a related scholarship. Though she may not have won the grand prize, she still received a $1,000 scholarship, got to meet the governor, and even watched a Capitol session. We could not be more proud of her. And then science research also competed at the Missouri Junior Academy State Competition, and competing students included Anna Barnhart, Christian Kavanagh, Caroline Ayersman, Brendan Fain, and Lily Smith. This took place at Missouri Western State University in St. Joseph, Missouri, and 5 research students qualified for the state competition. And those are the ones I talked about there. There were around, I believe, 13 other school finalists, a total of 19 high school finalists at the state Missouri Junior Academy State Competition. And at this, there were 6 finalists at the state competition. And 3 of those were Joplin students, Anna Barnhart, Brendan Fain, and Lily Smith. And Brendan won the Microbiology Special Award, which was only one of a few special awards. And the overall winner of this competition was Anna Barnhart, and she brought home the first Golden Eagle that JHS has received in a long time. All 3 finalists, yes, absolutely. All 3 JHS finalists are invited to compete at the national event in February, I believe in Boston. And Anna Barnhart also won financial assistance to help along with this trip. So I'm not sure, are we going to have
We
some of
have-
them?
We have some
Or-
presentations
or
for
we
you
all
all,
come
so we'll
Okay.
go over here
I suppose, yeah.
and present those. You can take a short breath and we'll start those, okay?
Sure, sure.
So I'm going to go ahead and announce the students that were just announced by Christian to come up here and get certificates and a Barnhart for your first place winner at the state competition. Please come on up. Christian Kavanaugh. Carolyn Harrison. Lily Smith. And Brendan Lane. Now, I think this lawyer, she heard, so let's come up here. Let's get Okay, and we have one more. John, would you come on up? We have advanced board member certification. Congratulations. Thank you for your work in that regard for Missouri School Boards Association Advanced Board Member Certification. Okay, if you've been paying attention, people out there in TV land, we do have the state assessments coming up. And Dr. Mwangi has two folks from Irving Elementary she wants to introduce.
Yes, so this evening, Mr. Atkins and Mr. Harris are here to present spring testing strategies. So this is just to give you a little insight. Every building does something a little bit different as we gear up. We are in spring testing season, so I will turn it over to them. They just have a few things to share with you.
Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is some of the preparation things that we do with our students. And more than anything, it's just to make them feel comfortable. Sometimes testing can be a little overwhelming. So we just try and prepare an atmosphere and an environment for our students that, hey, testing is just a chance for you to show how smart you are. So some of the things that we're working with our students on, we have something called online training tools, and then also the MAP practice tests. Those both are parts of the MAP. And so we have an opportunity to let our students practice those, and it exposes them to the types of questions as well as some of the format. So by the time they get to the actual test, they're very comfortable with that. Also gives our awesome teachers a chance to have just great dialogue around questions and the format. And that way, again, teachers are comfortable with the process as well as our students. A couple other things mentioned on there. You know, sometimes there's those questions that try and trick you. Part A and Part B and multiple answers. And so again, going through the practice test provides an opportunity for our students to get comfortable. That way, they know how to take the test. And it's not just something silly like, oh my goodness, I didn't know I needed to select 2 answers. So we're working to just try and prepare them for that. And then always making sure all the technology is working as well. Mr. Harris is going to talk to us a little bit about the curriculum part.
Yes, just for some curriculum review, things that we are doing in order to prepare for our MAP testing. We are refocusing our response to intervention time, which is now considered our EAGLE time, which is about an hour a day that we're focusing on priority standards in a small group setting. We are also using our common assessment data, which again are priority standards focused. And if those students are struggling with those common assessments, we're going back and we're reteaching those items that they're not as successful with. We're also looking at the MAP blueprint, so hitting those big domains such as geometry and measurement, or when it comes to ELA, like reading and listening, those big pieces to make sure the students are ready for MAP. And the last thing that we're doing is we are looking specifically at the MAP item analysis from last year and some of those results and kind of seeing where students struggled. That way, we can kind of see what they're struggling on, the types of questions that they're struggling on, and just kind of narrowing that focus as we get closer to MAP testing season. So that's what we're doing.
Very good. And then the last slide here is just encouraging students. We send home a parent letter, each building does, and just to keep our parents in the loop of, hey, here are the dates we're testing, and also just some great reminders of please have them go to bed early and eat a great breakfast, or get them to school on time, and we'll have a great breakfast for them. Also, we have our teachers buddy up together, and we have buddy classrooms, and they write each other encouraging posters and notes, and sometimes maybe some Smarties, some candy incentives to motivate each other. Also, we brought back last year a big rah-rah event. In each school, we have that, and just to pump up our students and tell them, hey, just work hard, do your very best. And also celebration. That's always fun. So we're celebrating at the end. Each school is doing something slightly different, but at Irving, we have a water day planned and some ice cream. So that sounds always good. And then the piece on here, just want to make sure we state that we're already proud of our kids, okay? But we want them to do their very best. That way they know that, hey, you've worked hard all year, and this is your chance to shine. So we're going to make it a fun experience for them, but also let them know how important this season of testing is. So
Thank you very much.
absolutely.
So we are underway. We have some of our students who will start some of that small group testing here very shortly, and then here in the next few weeks, a lot of testing happening around the district with all buildings. So busy time. Any questions?
Are the kids excited?
Yes. Yeah,
So it's working.
it's working. I know our big rah-rah's next Friday, so they're going to get even more excited. So
I would say this is my first time experiencing the rah-rah, so I'm excited myself as an administrator. So we'll see how that
it's a
goes.
good time. Good time.
Outstanding. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Mr. Atkins and Mr. Tyler for doing such a great job at you at Irving. I'm a little partial because my kids go to Irving and they always say great things about you guys. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do all grade levels take standardized tests every year?
Great
A
question.
combination of MAP and NWEA?
Yeah, so every student takes some sort of assessment throughout the year. We have an assessment calendar specifically for state assessment. It is grades 3 through 8. Plus, we have specific EOCs based on courses you're in the high school, like Algebra 1, English 2, Biology, Government is what they take at the high school. So everybody takes something. So that has kind of helped relay the message. Even our kindergarten students do some end-of-year testing. So it's really a chance for us to see all of our progress that we have throughout the year. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. And I just want to say thank you to all of our schools and all of our students and parents for taking the MAP test extremely serious and know how important it is for our students' learning, as well as it is for our individual schools in the school district. So thank you. Okay, health and dental reports. Ms. Toft.
Yes, so we just finished the first 9 months of the year on our health and dental, and so we spent $5,809,295, or around 77% of our budget. I would, if we look at the second page, this was our third highest month of the year for total expenditures. Part of that, we also had the highest quarter, but part of that is we did not receive our prescription rebate until April. So that the first quarter of this year, that however you want to look at third quarter of the fiscal year, we didn't get a prescription rebate, so it was late coming in the mail. But any other questions on the health and dental?
What do you anticipate that prescription rebate being worth?
We got it, I think it posted on April the 8th, it was $238,960, so that helps get us down below 75% if you kind of would back that into that first quarter total.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, on the financial statements, so far this year, we've spent about we received 87% of our revenue, spent around 63.5% of our expenditures. Part of that is we have some grants that we've been awarded and those expenditures haven't come through, so our expenditures look a little lower compared to the prior year, but part of that is some grant stuff that is out there that hasn't been paid for. Any questions on the financials?
Just a couple. Looks like we've got 87% of our revenues in, 63% of our expenses, and the revenues and expenses are equal. Does that mean we might run a bit of a deficit, or we have some grant money coming in? Looks like our revenues and expenses are about equal to date.
You're looking at the budget column on the far left, right?
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
Okay, so we're good. Thank you, John.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you're actually, it's a better position than last year where it was
Yeah.
a little bit
Yes.
tighter spread. If you look at that far right column, 23 to 24, we have a little wider spread than 24.
Correct. But I think part of that is our expenditures, the percentage wise is up higher with some of that grant stuff that's out there.
Good job.
Any other questions?
Okay, thank you, Ms. Toth. Public comments. Mrs. Worsler. Thank you. I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda with amendment.
I reviewed policy, and I think we're good to stand within policy. It's just a reiteration of who the account signatures are.
Okay, that's fine. I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mr. Weaver, a second by Mr. Robertson to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any further discussion on this item?
Well, that's with the exception of a couple of things that I asked pulled out
Right.
previously, right?
We pulled those.
Yeah,
at the
okay.
beginning, so
Okay.
those are already gone.
Good.
Please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes, regular agenda, accounts payable, Ms. Toft.
Yes, our bill list tonight is $7,888,306.63. Very similar to the prior year, where it was 7.7 million. So, any questions on the accounts payable?
I move we approve the payment of our accounts payable.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Sherrick, a second by Ms. Schroeder to approve our accounts payable as presented. Any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. Agreement between Joplin Schools and JNEA, Mr. Crawford and Mrs. Toft.
We would like to bring K2 and 3 together at the same time, if that's appropriate.
Very good.
So at this time, I always like to talk, but I talk too much and then I steal their thunder. We would ask our union representatives to come forward, please, at this time. We have both JNEA and JESP represented tonight. I'll have them introduce themselves to the board.
Yes, sir.
I'll just get my notes up.
Do you want to go across and just introduce yourselves real quick so the board knows
Yes.
who everybody is in case they don't?
Sure. My name is David Armstrong. I'm the current Joplin NEA president.
Crystal Stokes Danner, I am the chief negotiator for JNEA.
Carrie Ness, JESP president.
Crystal Walton, JESP vice president.
You don't get two crystals usually on any time of panel, and that's something pretty impressive. So good evening. Again, my name is Crystal Stokes Danner. I am the Joplin National Education Association chief negotiator. And we are the exclusive rep for Joplin schools. And so we represent all Joplin teachers, counselors, and librarians. That's all I have feedback. So JNEA, I'm just going to give you an overview, if you don't mind me reading. JNEA negotiates both working conditions and salaries for all teachers, counselors, and librarians in Joplin schools. And we call them our bargaining unit. We began this journey in 2016, negotiating with admin to create our bargained agreement, or a CBA, which is a living document that we change with the needs of our educators. This year we focused on in addition to our salary schedules, we had some concerns come up to us from all of our teachers, not just JNEA members. The positive part of both our negotiated contract and our salaries is that in 2016 we had absolutely nothing. We were the lowest paid in the entire state of Missouri, and within that time we have a negotiated contract that most of Missouri looks at as a standard, and they look at what we are doing in Joplin and want to put that in their contracts or in their negotiated agreements. And they were looking at us for what our salary has gone from and where it's going. So that's pretty impressive for Joplin, little Southwest Missouri. So during this bargaining cycle, the JNEA negotiation team brought a handful of issues and proposals to the admin team. During our discussions, both sides agreed that our bargaining unit is in need of some education regarding the calendar and the calendar committee. We also appreciate the board taking time to reevaluate one of the proposals or the board policies that you guys have come to the table a few months ago for the this is why I use my notes, guys, off cuff. We appreciate that you did look at the needs of the sick leave buyback, and then looked at the fact that we had many educators that truly, it may be only $25.26, but that does make a difference from $15.20 or whatever it was.
I'd like to add that was actually
Please.
bargained with JESP in their bargaining last year. We brought that forward to teachers to be equitable, but we felt like it needed some adjustment, and we were able to work that out with JNEA.
And we do appreciate that, because that was something that we had asked for many years. They brought, JESP brought it up, it was approved, and then we did say that that was something that was a major need because other districts have that opportunity, and we wanted to have that too. In addition,
I would add,
please.
I think that's a win-win
Yes.
for the district and the union.
And
that's, I think, the relationship that we have, that we try to come to those situations together where we can find a win-win.
Very much. And I would say bargaining is not the same in Joplin as it may be in the entire state of Missouri, or even, nationwide. We do have a really good working relationship with everyone on the bargaining team on both sides. So we also brought up an issue with sick leave, and we have changed the language of domestic partners and immediate family, and then loved ones, because many of us have extended families that need us there, and maybe they're not biologically related to us, but we've included as a negotiated term, we have loved ones included now. One of the other issues that came up many, many times to us, and we brought to the table, is making sure that our educators, in addition to anyone else that is part of the events that happen at the elementary level, have some type of time to plan out when they have to be in an event. And so we now have a minimum of 14 days, which I think is wonderful, because then you have time to find a babysitter or to make other arrangements for your loved ones if you're not able to be there. Overall, it was a great bargaining cycle. We took a few days, we had our norms set, and honestly, we appreciate that the negotiation team at the admin level will listen, and we try and make sure that if it is an education point, we're educating and we are changing language to grow with our districts. So, in addition to the contract, the CBA, we also have a raise. I will not go into detail on the raise because it is a sliding scale. However, this is a raise that will definitely help our teachers and counselors and librarians. And also, can I talk about career ladder or not? Okay, so in addition to our raise, we also had a conversation about career ladder and educating our teachers that are eligible about career ladder, and hopefully those teachers that come on board last year, this year, and in coming years, after 2 years that they are employed, the third year they can then be on career ladder, which will significantly help their paycheck. So of course there is a huge list of things that we need to do with that, but it does help our students. So that's really, where it's at.
And Sarah, I believe there's only one other area district that's doing career ladder besides
Right.
Joplin.
So Neosho. Yeah. And so when we look at that, we see our pay raise, plus we have career ladder for those teachers that have been here for a minimum of 2 years. So we're looking at the fact that we are trying to keep teachers here in Joplin. So.
I would just add that, like Crystal said, we're trying to make major headway with our teacher salaries, and we have. And we continue to want to make progression in that.
We are. We were the lowest paid, and now we are definitely one of the highest in our area. And it was definitely a collaboration.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So for JNEA, I'm going to ask that the board approves the ratified, and we did go to ratification, and it was 100% ratified by our members. But we do ask that you ratify the CBA and the salary schedule presented to you tonight.
I would entertain a motion to.
However,
approve
I'm not sure, do you want to do it together? I have to verbally say that, so.
Right, yeah. Do we want to do it together and take one vote, or do you want to take them
We'll
separate?
take them separately.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the agreement between Joplin Schools and JNEA.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Schroeder, a second by Mr. Greenlee, to approve the agreement between Joplin Schools and JNEA. Any further discussion? Please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. I'd entertain a motion to approve the agreement between Joplin Schools and JESP.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Weaver, a second by Mr. Robertson, to approve the agreement between Joplin Schools and JESP. Any further discussion on this item?
Could we hear from JESP?
Absolutely. JESP, the mic is yours.
But we may get something out of it.
I'm here to help her. I'm here to.
What would you like to hear?
Go ahead, Carrie, and then
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, we work with both our unions and it's off years. So this year was language and salary with JNEA, and it was just salary with JESP. Next year will be their big year. We did have some language though. I don't know if you want to speak to that or I can, but go ahead. Well, we changed with some language with the holidays.
Right.
And we opened that as the district because we missed it last bargaining season, but it was something that was already our practice. So we were just trying to update the CBA to have language that was current with our practice. So we did have that one, it added, if I recall, two extra holidays.
Yeah,
to-
Friday after Thanksgiving and, is it New Year's?
Let me pull it up. I can pull it up.
Two holidays that food service had always gotten, and when they joined in the union, we failed to add those 2 holidays to.
But the district did
But the
honor
district,
it.
we were paying it.
Right.
We were paying it, but we didn't have it in this.
So you made the language consistent with the practice.
Yes.
Right.
Very good.
Yes. So we did ratify, we did our financials, and we came to an agreement on the pay raise and salary schedule. We ratified, and I'm not sure what else to say.
Okay. So the administration would recommend that the board approve the CBA for JESP as presented.
We have a motion on the floor. Any further discussion on this item? Please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item, salary schedule and other salary adjustments for 2024, 2025. Mr. Crawford?
Shelley, I'll kind of turn it over to you if you want to speak a little bit more about this. This is, Shelley's done most of the work on this. We work together, but I'll be happy to talk as well.
Yeah, this one is just capturing all other salaries that are not part of a bargaining unit. So it's mainly our staff, parent educators, admin support, clerical, administrators, and then some social workers, OTs, student service area, and then also our stipend. We continued this list on the stipends. Last year we did a push to try to get our stipends up to match area schools. And so this year, there's still probably a bigger adjustment on some of those stipends, getting them up to that average or above the average. And we pretty much hit above average on all of our stipends with this that I have listed tonight.
So that's just another example of where we're making headway. Before we worked on that, Riley, I think you were on that committee.
I was on the stipend committee, and there was a lot of good work that was done there and good people who were in the room. It was a long time coming, somewhere around 2005. We estimated the last time there was a comprehensive stipend review. So we're really happy that we had everybody in the room where everybody who's impacted by stipends were able to have a collective voice. And last year we took a major step, but this year this will just be a continuation of that.
I think it's just another way to point to where Joplin Schools is trying to be the employer of choice and make sure that not only our salaries, but our stipends are competitive. Because at the point we're concerned at losing staff due to our stipends, but that first year making that up has made a tremendous difference, and we've held on to some people. And I think this year we'll make another adjustment. We'll review that again the following year is the plan.
I agree. Do you have a motion on this item?
Motion to approve as presented by Shelley.
Second.
Slash Justin.
We have a motion by Mr. Hurd, a second by Ms. Schroeder to approve the salary schedule and other salary adjustments for 2024, 2025. Any further discussion on this item? Please vote.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Yes. Student services titles, Dr. Dickey.
So there's two student service agreements that are there with this one item. The first one is an affiliation agreement with Utah State University. We like to work with any university or higher ed facility that is interested when they're placing interns for counselors and social workers. And so this is another new one that has reached out to me with someone that's going through their program that's moving to Joplin and would like to complete their program and intern with Joplin Schools. And so we're very excited about that. This has created some really great relationships where we're attempting to kind of grow our own and get some people interested in the district. And so that is the first one. Any questions about the Utah State University agreement?
Well, I think you answered the why, and the why is that they had a student that's moving to this area.
Right.
So that's the why, right? 'Cause
Yep.
It's like Utah State, look at the map, we're
Yep.
a little ways away from Utah.
She was moving and she's hoping to have a future with Joplin Schools, and they were gracious enough to create an affiliation agreement to let her finish her program.
Certainly, that explains the why. Thank
Yes.
Excellent.
And we always do an agreement so that we can ensure that we are happy with their procedures for vetting the students before they're placed in one of our buildings.
Are we still dealing with shortages in school counselors
Yes.
statewide?
Yeah, we were talking about that today with a couple openings we have across the district, and it's always shocking to me how few applicants we have in some of our openings. And again, we're early with some of those, but yeah, there's definitely a shortage of school counselors.
And these are mental health counselors, not guidance counselors, right?
No, these are school counselors.
We get a variety. This is for a school counseling program. We do internships though for social workers and for others, but this specifically is for someone in a school counseling program. Okay. The second agreement, there's actually several of them. These we brought last year and we're bringing them again for this next school year, looking into 24-25. The public schools flow Title I dollars through to the non-publics. And so Joplin Schools acts as the fiscal agent when we're flowing dollars through to what was College Heights, but is now going to be New Heights Academy. And so there are 10 schools that cooperate together. And so Joplin Schools employs the teachers and paraprofessionals that work inside of New Heights Academy. And these are the agreements between us and the other public schools so that they can transfer their Title I dollars to us. Questions about that?
So we basically pay for staff in the private schools
Yes.
through Title I.
Yep. We are serving Joplin residents that are inside of College Heights, the Catholic schools, and Martin Luther. They go through the process with the state to count those students. And so the money flows through the public and the public district in which those students reside. And so we are obligated to meet their needs in accordance with Title and IDEA or ESEA. So we're happy to do that and making sure that all students that reside in Joplin schools are getting needs met. Other questions?
For Dr. Dickey? Thank you. I entertain a motion to approve the student services titles as presented.
I move we approve them as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Robertson, a second by Mrs. Sherrick to approve the student services titles as presented. Further comments? Please vote.
Abstain?
Yes.
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 Yes. Summer school application, Dr. Mwangi.
Yes, and Mr. Atkins is actually going to come join me. Unfortunately, Ms. Brewer is sick this evening, so she sends her regrets. But when Mr. Atkins had to help share a previous section of the agenda, and he's also a summer school principal, he wins the prize tonight. So he's going to cover for Katie and just give you a little summary. We'll submit our summer school application, but just to highlight for the public where we're going with summer school.
All right, summer school planning, it is underway. And, our big goal is creating a highly engaging summer learning experience. We want it to be fun. We want students to just in the regular school year and say, hey, we want more and we want to come to summer school and have a blast. So our theme this year is Go for Gold, tying into the Olympic theme. Felt very timely. Some of the things that we did last year that worked really well, we had a daily camp time and then also some STEM challenges and also weekly field trips and then also some outdoor play-based learning for elementary and middle school level. Also the high school students, they have opportunities to participate in for credit and also for non-credit coursework as well. So this all starts May 29th through June 27th. And probably the biggest thing, parents, you can find information on our Joplin Schools website. And right there at the top there on the banner, you can click on the Go for Gold and it'll tell you how to enroll your students. So we hope as many students that can come. One thing, also to mention, just our transportation department's doing a great job of finalizing our busing points there for summer school. Then also we have free breakfast and free lunch served at all locations. So that's a win for all our kids too. And one other thing to point out, I'm proud of the team. We formed a committee of teachers this year to reflect upon, hey, what were things we did really well last year? And then also, hey, what are some areas that we need to get better at? So we've met with that group of teachers multiple times so far and reflecting on camps and field trips and just how do we make this a great experience for our kids. So really excited about that work and we're excited for summer school.
So go online, you can enroll from the Joplin Schools website and we'll be ready to roll right after school gets out. Thank you.
So just a question.
Yes, sir.
So last year, I thought we had kind of a record enrollment, if I remember that right. I can't remember the exact number. But any idea you're anticipating as far as total students this year that you think?
It's kind of early, but I would say interest level, are you guys getting a sense?
Yeah, we're already having families and students start enrolling. So, we're having 3 elementary sites this year. We look to, goodness, probably 1,000 students easily.
For sure, we'll be over 1,000. Elementary with 3 sites, we're hoping to have some better capacity within 3 where we were at 4 before and we had some half full schools. So we're trying to maximize some efficiency there. We think would not only help with the teaching side of things, but also just the logistical components. So might be early, But I will for sure have a good idea by the May board meeting because parents will realize school is ending and I need to get them enrolled for summer school. So preliminary numbers are pretty equal to what they've been before, a few hundred students, but that'll definitely, as we get into May and we realize the summer's near that enrollment.
I remember last year, the growth in the test score from beginning to end of summer was really good. And so if you guys are focused on, hey, well, how can we improve the program from there? I mean, I tip my hat to you guys because I thought you did a really good job last year as it was. So if you're looking to fine tune from there, even going forward,
Absolutely.
that's great.
Yeah, keep the great things going.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Any other questions? Thank you.
I entertain a motion on item number 6, the summer school application.
I move we accept the summer school application as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Schroeder, a second by Mr. Hurd to approve the summer school application as presented. Any further discussion on this item? Please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. Memorial Education Center boiler installation change order.
Yes, as we talked about last month, we're replacing the boilers in this building, and in that time frame, we had an unexpected failure at East Middle School with a boiler. Talking with our HVAC guys and their resources, they determined that a replacement is better than repair, cost-wise. With the lead time that we had learned, 16 to 18 weeks for a boiler, if we were to go put out to bid another boiler altogether, we were probably pushing it to get a boiler in here and installed in time for the heating season. And so we reached out to the company that won the bid for the MEC and asked if they would do a change order and add an extra boiler for East and also do the work as a cost savings to the district, as opposed to another company doing that. And so we were coming to you ask for a change order for Satterley to install an additional boiler at East Middle School, in addition to the work they'll be doing here at MEC.
And Matt, how old is the boiler that failed?
10 years.
10 years old.
10 years old.
So that's a little bit early. So what was the problem with it?
We've had some issues with, there are actually 4 boilers there, 2 small ones, 2 large ones. This was one of the large ones. We've had issues with that system out there a little bit. The other large boiler is having some issues. We may need to look at doing that next year, but having them running efficiently so that we have redundancy to make sure that we can cover those. Some of the issue we believe may have been the water that was run out there. We've had some issues with other water utility items that are out there, and so we've looked at what we can do to filter, to do everything we can to soften that water, to try to keep the chemical content as consistent as we can. So
Water that we're getting from the city?
Huh?
Water that we're getting from the city?
That's actually well out there, not city.
And that's why I asked, because you've got a water component and you've got a heating element component. Those are the 2 big things. And so if you've got a water issue, unless you guys put the proper filtration on it, we're going to keep spending the dollars. So I would ask you guys to look at what filtration do we need to put on that, so you're going to avoid the future, because it's going to keep happening. Those are the 2 things that go wrong with those.
Sure, and we put issues or put things into that with them, but also service contract and the warranty extension that came with the boilers that we purchased here is coming with that boiler there as well.
Okay, so will you guys go back and look at water filtration? Because no matter what the warranty is, you're going to have the same issues if you don't address that. Like, I mean, they're expensive.
And will the warranty cover damage?
Warranty won't cover water issues.
Even if you get an extended
Right,
warranty,
they don't.
it's not going to cover it.
No.
We will certainly look at that.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Are there any rules about how we have to publish bids for this kind of thing? We're not going around and
What are you suggesting?
you mentioned that we sidestep the idea of putting out another bid for.
It's a change order.
We just
It's a different.
we've had a recent bid though, so I think we're within the spirit of the law that we did those out and we got this, so we can change the works.
The responsive
With the
to it.
time framing that would cause us to have to wait for the additional bids, that would cause some heating issues, I think, that we're under law to do that.
I would move that we approve the item number 7 on the change order.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mr. Weaver, a second by Mr. Robertson to approve the MEC boiler installation change order. Any further discussion? Please vote.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Yes. Memorial Education Center gym electrical work, Mr. Harding.
Yes, and so leading into this kind of consent agenda, kind of lead into, once the board approves the capital outlay for the next fiscal year, from our side of it, that really kind of starts the clock ticking. To not only finish up plans for the current fiscal year, but to get things started in place for the next fiscal year. On top of that, that time frame shrinks down even more because there's a lot of projects we want to get done that could significantly disrupt the school. So we try to get all this done in the summer, whereas we're disrupting school and the kids as little as possible. And so time frames are always very important to us. Skillcraft, Dave, Alicia, everybody, they work really hard, and finance helps us a lot, and the magnificent Gigi Matthews helps us tremendously to get all of our bids out there and make sure that we're following our processes outside of what we need to get done within the time frame we need to get them done in. And so with the mezzanine JRTC, they are looking to acquire some money from the Army to improve their range upstairs, and to do that, we need to make some significant upgrades in the electrical. And so we followed the process, and I'll let Dave jump in here as well to get that completed as far as our bidding process and how that worked out.
Yeah. As we typically do when we have projects that require us to bid, in this particular instance, we knew that there wasn't just a real cut and dried way to approach this. So we sent out 4 emails to interested parties of bid package for this, with a mandatory walkthrough included. The mandatory walkthroughs assist us in making sure that we have all of the vendors who are going to bid a particular project in place at the same time, so that all questions get answered the same, everybody understands the same thing, and so that we come together so that everybody's bidding apples to apples because they've all attended that same walkthrough. We make those mandatory walkthroughs because in order for us to accept you as a bidder, you have to attend or have at least a representative there to be a part of that. We did that in this particular case for the mezzanine. We just had one that attended the walkthrough, so they were the lone bidder. We came in under our budgeted amount for this particular after we actually received their bid. And so we felt comfortable in moving ahead with that, even though we only had one bidder that chose to. It becomes frustrating to my folks to send out the information and not have vendors or contractors respond back and attend these walkthroughs or bid as we hope that they will. It would be our desire to have several, 15, 18 bids come in on every project. But with the size of Joplin and some of the challenges we have, that's just not possible. So in this particular case, that's why there's only a single bid. Was this particular vendor jumped through the hoops of what we asked them to do to attend the mandatory walkthrough, and then submit a bid, and we are asking you tonight to accept that bid.
Yeah, so I was one that asked to pull this one out, and it's exactly for that reason that we only got one bid. And when I think about all of us have a fiduciary responsibility to make sure we're getting competitive bids, it's hard to understand that when you only get one. I also understand that, from talking to you guys, part of the issue is that whatever is going on in Joplin, it's becoming harder and harder for contractors to work, and they're either not responding or turning down work. I think that's happened with our track and field building, with a lot of the subs that we've worked on. It's happening in this issue, and it's happening in others. But we've got to get a plan together, and I know that you guys are going to meet with the city to talk about what is going on, that you got all these contractors saying, hey, I'll work everywhere but in the city of Joplin. There's something wrong there, because it's the trades, it's what these guys do. So we got to get that solved, so we make sure that we are getting competitive bids for whatever we're going to do within the city of Joplin going forward. And we do a lot of work. So I called this one out, not just because, hey, it's $10,000, a lot of money, but that we've just to call the fact that we've got a greater issue here that we've got to put some effort around getting solved, because as our buildings continue to age, they're going to continue needing capital maintenance. And if we have this issue right now with just getting an electrician to come out, what's it going to look like when we have some of the other jobs? So we've got to get, I'd like a follow-up from you guys after you meet with the city on kind of what is that path forward, because it's surprising that we don't get any response. And we've been here a long time, so it's not like people don't know us, right?
Well, I can certainly appreciate the work that your team does, Mr. Pettit, and the time that you put into this. I'm sure you're very frustrated when you only have one individual respond, but I can recall in my time on the board that we've had numerous instances where sometimes it's just hard to get people to want to do the job. We've had that in other cases as well. So we know that there are processes to do so, and we know that you followed those. So we thank you for
Riley, to
that.
be clear, I'm not, it's not Dave and Matt.
No,
I share their frustration.
I
It's that
agree.
we're not getting anybody to respond.
Right.
And so I'm just saying, hey, we raise the hand. We gotta work on this collectively to try to find some answers.
We've had this issue. I mean, we're having this issue with some current building projects that we've been in discussion about. So, no, I share in your frustration, John, and I'll say, but to your team, Dave, we know that you are working really hard for us.
I move that we approve the MEC gym electrical work as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Greenlee, a second by Mrs. Sherrick to approve the MEC gym electrical work as presented. Any further discussion? Please vote.
Yes.
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 Yes. The installation of micropiles at MCK, Dr. Harding.
Yes, very similar situation here. This is going to be a large project that needs to be done when school is out. And so we've kind of tried to get this going and get this on the books ahead of time. And David's team is working very hard and monitoring this situation. We've reached out to architects and contractors to see what we need to do. And this is the fix that they have all suggested. So I'll let Dave kind of go into the details of what this looks like and the process we went through.
We've known this process was probably coming for a little while. We've been monitoring that building for almost 2 years now. We did the same thing as far as the process. Because the bid was going to be over 50,000, we are required to advertise that in the local newspaper for 2 consecutive weeks. We did that. We also reached out to the contractors, which are shown there on your action item, and only received a response from one of those. Again, a mandatory walkthrough to make sure that we covered all the bases and that everything was clear as far as the scope of work that we wanted to obtain. And so we had that bidder come. We had done some initial budgeting. We are under our anticipated budget there, taking some numbers that we had from the previous attempt at micropiles that we had at Columbia Elementary and extrapolating that over to this project. And so followed the same criteria that we've done for board policy in bidding that. But again, unfortunately, in this particular case, especially with such a specialized item, again, only getting one bid.
John, I think a lot of this is happening because the construction companies are having trouble finding employees that show up on time as well.
Sure.
And they're focusing on their bigger jobs instead of a smaller job like this would be to a lot of these companies.
Yeah, I don't doubt that's part of the root cause. It's, try to hire someone to do work on HVAC these days.
Or
Good luck.
anything.
Yeah, it's hard. So I fully appreciate that. But again, on this one, I think Dave and Matt did exactly what they were supposed to. They went through the process. This one's a little heavier work. I mean, this is foundation work. I mean, the cost of it, this one I know is in line, but it's still the same root issue that, hey, they're not getting any other response. But I just want to bring it to the attention. And again, I don't want any criticism to come on Dave and Matt and their team, because I think they did exactly what they're supposed to do following the process. We're just not getting responses on some of these.
And it is a significant dollar amount, but it's still a small job to these companies that we're asking to bid the job.
Yeah, overall.
Because Crossland and Ari Smith walked, they showed up, but they didn't get a bid on.
But on this one, isn't Crossland working with Asbill to get it done?
Yeah, the company that's working with Asbill is actually part of Crossland Construction, but Asbill is the lead contractor with a subcontractor that is associated with Crossland.
Yeah, because that's the first question I asked, because how much work has Crossland done for us? And to not see them on here, and then, when I talked with Dave and Matt, they said, well, it is. They're actually part of that. So I feel comfortable with that too, because they've done so much work for our district.
Dave, I do have a question. It says the southeast part of the building. I'm trying to visualize that. Is that part of the newer section or the older?
It's the new addition that was put in, I believe, in 2005.
Okay.
And we actually went back to the original architect and the original engineer in working with them and helping us monitor as well as try to come up with a solution. And they have been very instrumental in helping us get to where we're at now.
And the other thing I want to add is Dave and his team do a great job and have great relationships with so many contractors, everybody else in the district, that they know who's going to do good work for us, and they reach out to everybody they can and say, hey, this is what we got coming up. But at the same time, we're going to do the best we can financially for the district, but at the same time, we're going to do what's safest for the kids. You know, we don't want to bring somebody in that we're going to fix the problem down the road later. So, and they have great relationships with everybody, and they give everybody heads up and get good knowledge and ideas of what we should do to what's best for kids. And so that's always what's on the forefront of our decision making.
How long does this fix last?
Take the glasses off. We will experience the same thing with this that we had at Columbia Elementary. There's actually no warranty for this, but if the fix, what we will do is maintain with the fix the building where it's at now. It will not push it back into place. But if this is successful, it will last for the life of the building.
Also, the good news, if there is any good news in something like this, is we're talking about a small portion of the end of the building.
Sure.
We're talking about 30 feet is into the, if that, is into the, where the building is leaning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a much smaller.
Thankfully, it's not in the middle of the
It's
building.
much smaller footprint.
It's not Columbia.
It's a small footprint.
I'd make a motion to approve the installation of the micropiles at McKinley Elementary as presented by Dave and Matt.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Hurd, a second by Ms. Schroeder, to approve the installation of micropiles at McKinley Elementary School. Any further discussion? Please vote.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Yes. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Sherrick, a second by Mr. Greenlee to adjourn. Any further discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Yes, our meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much for being here this evening.
We'll take a picture of the board.